welcome back to Dana's Coloring Obsession. Oh, I'm sorry if you can hear music in the background. It's going to be super muffled. It's my husband jamming out in the garage. Anyways, hi, I hope you are all doing well. We are here to do our color along for May. It's in Camilla D'Erico's book, Beauties and Beasties. So I haven't done a page yet in this book, and I was thinking that we should start with the background, and I'm going to be kind of plain Jane because I'm not really experienced with neocolors. I'm working on it, but I'm going to only do one color, but I'm also going to do something on top of the neocolor afterwards. So we are going to be using the Neocolor 2 called Greenish Blue. Oh, you can't see that. I'll just put it on the screen like normal. Greenish Blue. And I'm just going to go over the entire background underneath them as well, because we are under the sea. We've got mermaids going on here, and it's a swimming dragon, we're going to say. So I'm just going to start coloring, and I'll speed through this. I'll probably do this side, since it's a double page spread, I'll do this side with you guys, and then I can do the rest off screen, off camera. And then we're going to work on our dragon some today. So let's go going. All beautifully colored. Isn't that gorgeous? I just obviously scribble it on. It's hard for me to tell exactly where there are holes in her hair here because it's such a sketchy style. I love it, don't get me wrong. But I don't know if I can just make sure. That's just going to be hair. I've decided. Yeah, okay, so I think that's good. And then I have two different sizes of water brushes from Arteza. They're the push button ones. I just have a bigger brush to do the bigger areas, and then if I need to, I'll switch to this one, which is a lot smaller of a nib, or not nib, but brush, if my camera would focus. Well, you get the idea. Anyways, around this area, if I need to, I have the smaller brush. if I want to grab it. Otherwise, I'll be using this bad boy. Now, I've found my tip would be to not use enough, like a lot of water mediums. Don't use a lot of water. Start by, making sure your brush is, well, this one, I think it's stained. I'm going to make sure it's clean. Yeah, okay. And make sure it doesn't have a ton of water in it. And I do small circles, very small circles, like this. And I just move the pigment around until it's nice and dissolved. And if I have too much water, I just wipe her off and keep going. And then what'll happen is it'll start to not be able to push the pigment around as much, and that means you need more water. So, but right now I have plenty, almost too much water on my brush. And since we're only using one color, I don't have to worry about blending other colors together. And once I get braver, I will show this kind of stuff with multiple colors and stuff on screen. But I don't want to like screw up a page while we're, trying to do a color along. So, but like I said, we will, oh my gosh, sorry. It was mostly off the screen there. I lost my train of thought now. Oh, I'm going to be doing some like shimmer spray and stuff on this once it dries as well. Well, probably at the end of the page, not before. And some of these places are going to be a little bit lighter, so I'm going to go back in using the water brush directly onto the crayon and just putting some pigment where I think it needs to be. If that makes sense. Like for instance, this corner is lighter than the rest here. So I'll probably take when that dries, I'll take the brush and get some pigment on it just like that, and then go over it like that. But I'm not going to do it now because it's wet and it'll just smear everywhere. So, and that gives us a lot more pigment on the brush. Like I said, I've only done this a handful of times, so there are some really good tutorials out there by other colorists if you haven't seen them yet. I know that Karen from My Colorful Country Life has some really good Neocolor tutorials out there on her excuse me, on her channel. And I believe Jen's Coloring Corner also has, I don't know if she's got a full tutorial on Neocolors, but she uses them in like a lot, like 80% of her color alongs. I mean, she uses other mediums, don't get me wrong. She uses all kinds of mediums, but she loves her Neocolors specifically in her Hannah Carlson books. And she uses all the colors and all the things. So if you wanted to see somebody else using these as well, that's a good one to go to. So there's some options for you, because I'm definitely not somebody who is a tutorial type. I can give you pointers of things that I've done, like what not to do as far as like failures I've had. Being too much water being one of them. But yeah, see, this is, I'm going to have to go over the whole thing again. I want a second coat for it to be darker and more saturated evenly. And we're just going to go right up to his little nose And remember, my brush is fairly dry. Not dry, but doesn't have a lot of water on it, so I don't really have to worry about putting that color into the dragon's nose very much. With these water brushes, with a decent water brush, you can really control where that water goes. When I first bought a water brush, it was one of those super cheap ones off of Amazon, and I don't even remember the brand now. But it leaked all over, and I had no idea when it was gonna like flood on my page, or it was really hard to use. So yeah. But these Arteza ones are really good. I also have some Caran d'Ache ones that are similar, very much similar, like they look almost identical. And their water spout is a little bit smaller, like it's a little harder to get the water out of these, at least my batch that I bought, than these ones, than the Arteza ones. But they're still good. But I am liking these quite a bit so far out of all the ones I've bought. So yeah, I am gonna speed this up, possibly to some music, and we'll get through it. Okay, we're gonna let that dry, and while that's drying, we're gonna play with our dragon. Okay, so I feel like we're gonna do, we know as a pink dragon for my hashtag, Pink Dragons for Dana 2024. It's just color any dragon pink and send it to my Gmail at danascoloringobsession@gmail.com. And then also Forever Friends is my other hashtag, if I could speak, which is Forever Friends May 2024, because they're forever friends. Anyways, so the underside of him, his belly, these big scales here, I guess, are going to be yellows, and then the rest of his body and his spikes are going to be yellows, and his horns, and the rest of his body is going to be bright pinks. I think I'm going to disregard the spots and do like a fade in with 4 different colors of pink. That's, I believe, what we're going to do. And let's start though down here with his underbelly and under his jaw with the yellows. And I have, from darkest to lightest, Polychromos, Faber-Castell Polychromos, and I have dark chrome yellow 109, dark cadmium yellow 108, and light cadmium yellow 105. And I need to sharpen them. Okay, so using her lines, let me scooch it in a little bit. Using her lines, I'm going to put hard pressure at the line like this, and then lighter and lighter pressure until it fades into nothing and stop. And I'm doing that just out from the edge. And I'm using the darkest yellow we have, which is the dark chrome yellow. Okay, and then I'm going to use the dark cadmium yellow, and I'm going to go over the faded part, and then using the same pressure technique, dark to medium to light pressure. Okay, and I might go over this all again. And then the lightest one, light cadmium. The light cadmium, oh God, my mic was pushed away. I hope you guys could hear me through all of that. My light cadmium is very bright. Okay, and that's how I'm going to do the rest of it. We'll do some more together, but I'm going to go back over a little bit to make it more saturated, because I want this dragon to be bright. like that. That's how all of his yellow pieces are gonna be. Scooch over here, grabbing my darkest again. And that line that kind of stops here. So I'm gonna kind of draw my own line with the dark yellow here. And because we're in a bigger area, I'm going to go down a little farther with the colors. This was a little space, so I didn't, you want to blend it kind of through evenly. So I'm coming down about a third of the way. Remember, from hard pressure to medium to light. All right, we might go back over that in a little bit, but for now, that's good. And then using the medium yellow, dark cadmium yellow, sorry. Our medium color gets a little bit more area. Here we go. And then the light cadmium yellow. Okay. Oh, that's hard on my arm. I'm used to twisting the book, but I can't when I'm recording. Okay. It's hard on my wrist to flip it this way like this. And I'm just, again, making it a little more saturated with color here. Oops. I'll have to erase that. All right, in the middle. I'm kind of doing loopy circles now to blend a little bit, using medium pressure, not hard, because you don't want to burnish it too much. So you want to still be able to do some layering. Okay. All right, so that's how I'm gonna be doing. I hope you guys can see that well. It's kind of a soft gradient. And then I'll do the rest of this area down here. And let's do some pinkness. Okay. Okay, well, we'll start here on the jaw so you guys can at least see what I'm going to be doing. So we've got 4 pinks here, again in the polychromos. We have from darkest to lightest, magenta 133, middle purple pink 125, fuchsia 123, and pink madder lake 129. And I'm gonna pull my darkest first, which is the magenta. And right up on the edge of his little jawline here, or tip of his mouth, I don't know, we're gonna add our base darkest color here. And I'm gonna try to smooth out that edge because silly Dana likes to create a line where there shouldn't be one. Okay, and then I'm gonna take middle purple pink, go over that faded part, bring it up a little bit. Now we should be doing what I did here with the yellows, but with this small space and my arm is in the way of the mic and my chair arm, so I can't. And I apologize. I'm trying. Next color is the fuchsia. Ugh, for Pete's sake. Ugh. And then we have the pink madder lake. All right, and now I'm going to go over all of that, and I am going to tilt this a little bit, you guys. I'm sorry. Gotta get my stuff out of the way first because it's a 2-pager. I have to tilt it just a little. My apologies. My wrist is killing me. And I'm just doing another layer here and getting rid of some of that tooth, making it darker. I would say medium pressure. I'm not pushing hard. Next color is the fuchsia. And then the madder. And my light color is always usually my blender for the most part. So I kind of go back over some of the transitions of the other colors and it helps blend, I find. But that's me. Okay, so that is the colors that our dragon is going to be. Uh-oh, looks like I forgot part of his lip. Just up front here, it'll be dark. There we go. Okay, I have gone ahead and done the second this side and the second coat of the greenish blue Neo Color 2. And so it's done and dry. And then I finished the yellow on his underbelly. I've got pencil shavings. Lovely. Stand by. Get that out of there. Bug me. All right. And I thought I would do a little bit more of his pinkiness to show you. And then we're going to probably do a horn and a spike. And depending on how much longer, because I've already been recording for well over an hour. So this is actually the next day recording more because I had to get all that done. But yeah, so let's do a little bit more of the pink for the dragon's skin and then a horn, and we'll go from there after that. So I'm going to zoom you in a little bit to this side of the dragon. All right, there he is in all his little glory. And we are using the same pinks, obviously, for the rest of him. And I'll say it one more time. This is Magenta Polychromos 133, Middle Purple Pink 125, Fuchsia 123, and then the lightest is Pink Madder Lake 129. So that's those. And I'm going to take my darkest color first. Sorry, got to put the pencils down in a spot where they will fit and not roll off the table. Okay, and I'm going to start down here. Okay, and then also the ridge of his nose up here with the magenta. Okay, and I'll probably go around his eye with the darker colors as well. And then I think where his eyeball, we might use the yellows or I don't know, I haven't quite decided yet on his eyeball. So I'm just kind of going to leave it until I think about it a little more. But we're giving him some nice eye makeup at the moment. Kind of using the lines that Camilla or Camilla, I'm not quite sure, gave us here. All right, and then I'm going to go in with the next color. Actually, you know what? Wait, before I do that, sorry, I'm going back in with the magenta. We're going to go a little bit thicker down here. There we go. And I will go back over this and get rid of the tooth of the paper and make it a little bit deeper of a color. I'm just doing the first few layers here. Okay, next is the middle purple pink. And like I said, there's gonna be some tooth and stuff originally before we get all of the pencil down. Which is fuchsia. And then the lightest color, the Pink Madder Lake. All right, now I'm going to go back over so that it actually starts blending better and the colors are more vibrant. I think we're gonna work on the eye and stuff later here. Okay, and that's about the gist of it. I will go in a little bit more and smooth out some more areas that I'm not particularly happy with, but this is the color that the dragon is gonna be. Let's see here. All right, now we're gonna do a spike. And we're gonna take the 3 yellows that we had on the belly, but we're adding a few colors. So from darkest to lightest, we have Polychromos, Scarlet Red 118, oops, sorry, Orange Glaze 113, Dark Chrome Yellow 109, Dark Cadmium Yellow 108, and lightest is the Light Cadmium Yellow 105. And I'm going to start with my darkest. And we're just going to do this middle one here. And start down here. I'm kind of mapping it out, so I'm using light pressure. Okay, so it's going to be about there. And like I said before, all of this will blend a lot better as we go. Layers and layers. Don't fret. All right, now we're going to go back through. There we go. Okay, so I'm gonna leave you with that. Let me zoom out. Okay, so we have the background that you guys can finish. Remember, I did 2 coats of the greenish blue in the Neocolor 2s, and then the color of the dragon. Now you can do this kind of shading into the middle light on his body like that, and just basically I'm just going to go around here and shade where with the darkest of the pink what I feel is going to be the darker areas, and then just go in mixing in the various colors there. And then you can finish this with the first 3 colors of the yellows, his belly, which are the dark chrome yellow 109, dark cadmium yellow 108, and the light cadmium yellow 105, which is the ones we did with the body. And then you can go in and just add the orange glaze 113 and the scarlet red 118, and that is going to complete his spikes. So you can do those, and then if you're following along, and I will do the second part probably towards the end of the week, maybe even on Saturday, depending. But it will be the finishing product. We will do some horns. Basically, actually, you guys can do the horns. I'm going to do them kind of the same way I did these spikes here. So you can do the spikes too. But we're going to be finishing off with the mermaids. And then we need to figure out what we're going to do for the nails for the dragon. Do you think they're going to be black? Let me know what you think in the comments. What should we do for his nails? I already have the color of the mermaids picked out. I think they're both going to be the same colors. We might do different hair, slightly different hair to diversify them a little bit, but I don't want to have a ton of colors. So yeah, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. We'd love to have you be part of the community, and have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in the next video.